The vaccine mandate deadline for receiving the second dose of the COVID-19 vaccine is today for all state workers in Washington.
Find out how this will affect WSU and more next on Murrow News 8.
Northwest Public Broadcasting Studios on the campus of Washington State University. This is Murrow News 8.
Good evening, I'm Jacoby Wright.
And I'm Sydney Gardner. Welcome to Murrow News 8.
Today is the deadline for Washington State workers to be fully vaccinated against COVID-19. The mandate announced by Governor Jay Inslee in August requires most state and healthcare workers, as well as school employees, to get vaccinated or lose their job. Employees can apply for medical and religious exemption. According to the statement from the governor, over 90% of Washington workers were vaccinated as of last Monday.
Speaking of that deadline, today is a big day for WSU football and head coach Nick Rolovich, who is seeking a religious exemption from the mandate. Murrow News 8 reporter Dakota Cruz is live at Giesa Field with more information.
Thank you, guys. Well, it is indeed a very important day here at the WSU campus. It is the last day for all Washington State employees to be fully vaccinated or to file an exemption, which means Nick Rolovich's future at WSU is in question. It is unclear whether Rolovich will be on the sideline for this week's game against BYU. Earlier today, WSU Athletic Director Pat Chun announced he is holding a mandatory meeting for all players to discuss the coach's future. Now, unless Chun has weekly 5:30 p.m. meetings with players about the coach's future, this is very significant. It is also worth noting that Rolovich always has a weekly 2 p.m. Monday webinar. Today's webinar did not happen, and WSU football also has not released practice details for today. More details will surface once the 5:30 meeting with the players is finished. Also, even if Rolovich is granted his exemption, exempted workers generally have to be reassigned to a back office job or one that is working from home, basically for them to telework. Well, that is it for now from Giesa Field, reporting live. I'm Dakota Cruz with Murrow News 8. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Dakota. A very interesting update on a developing story. Next, the Seattle Public School Board is considering asking the Washington State Board of Health to mandate the COVID-19 vaccine for all students across the state. The request could happen once the FDA approves the vaccine for kids ages 5 and up. The request was brought to the school board last Wednesday night and will be voted on at the next regular meeting on November 3rd.
Idaho Lieutenant Governor Janice McGeehan's office says it cannot find invoices or records for private outside legal expenses in response to a public records request that she is asking taxpayers to pay $50,000. The request came from the Idaho Capital Sun, who was seeking the release of McGeehan's invoices related to the Idaho Press Club's lawsuit. The invoices have not been found, and without the invoices, it may be difficult for Idaho taxpayers to know how much she spent outside of the council.
Washington State University's College of Veterinary Medicine is hosting its annual research symposium on Wednesday, October 20th. The event recognizes excellence in research across the college, allowing researchers to display their work publicly on posters. These posters will be viewable from 3 to 5 p.m. and an award presentation will follow. The event will take place inside the Veterinary and Biomedical Research Building off of Stadium Way.
This morning, former U.S. Secretary of State Colin Powell passed away due to COVID-19 complications. The 84-year-old was the first African-American Secretary of State from 2001 to 2005, serving for George W. Bush. Powell was a distinguished soldier in the Vietnam War. Bush said, quote, "He is a great public servant who was a family man and a friend." WSU researchers are finding new ways to fight air emission.
And you may need to pay a few more cents at the grocery store. Find out more after the break. A team led by researchers from WSU and the University of New Mexico have developed new technology that helps clean up emissions from natural gas engines. According to WSU Insider, researchers developed a catalyst with unique atomic-sized rafts that are effective at cleaning up natural gases and reducing the amount of unburnt methane that is emitted into the air by natural gas-powered technologies like trucks and off-road vehicles. The Washington State plastic bag ban went into effect on October 1st, and people in Pullman have begun adjusting to this new way of shopping. Murrow News 8 reporter Jackie Smith has more.
The new plastic bag ban has changed a bit of the way we shop now. Stores are now selling recyclable bags for 8 cents a piece, or shoppers have the option to bring their own. Single-use plastic bags are now banned. Dismore's IGA in Pullman is offering 2 bags for people to choose from, paper and a heavier recyclable plastic. Dismore's owner, Archie McGregor, said he hasn't had too much of a problem with the plastic bag ban.
I think overall most of it's been positive. I mean, you see a lot of people that are now not wanting bags, and others that take them and they like the newer plastic ones.
With the plastic bag ban in effect, shoppers now have 3 options for how they want to utilize the bag. Pay the 8 cents, bring their own recyclable bag, or use no bag at all. But how often do you have to pay for one of these because you forgot one of these? Many of these bags that stores are offering are reusable for multiple trips, but people often come into stores and realize they left their bags in the car or even at home.
I always forget them, and I gotta go back to the car and get them.
Then there are people who can go either way with the bags.
I'll pay the extra 8 cents, but I do have reusable bags that I should probably use more.
And then there are those that just don't like the 8-cent charge if they forget their own bag.
I just try to carry as much of stuff as I can, and then it usually kind of limits what I'm buying, because if I can't carry it, I don't want to buy a bag.
Reporting in Pullman, I'm Jackie Smith, Murrow News 8.
The weather has been nice here for the past few days. Let's find out if it will continue with a weather report from Cameron Baber.
All right, hi guys, thanks. Let's take a look at our weather today here in Pullman. Now we have a high of 60 degrees here in Pullman, but it is very, very sunny. So we have a nice, beautiful fall sunny day. However, it is a bit windy out. We have 14-mile-per-hour wind chill, so it may be a little cold out when you're walking to class. We have a sunset at 5:55, so the sunset is getting earlier in the day, so watch out for that. Now tomorrow we have a high of 65 degrees and we have a low of 41. It is also going to be very sunny out up until Wednesday, but we'll get back to that in a second. Now taking a look at the state map, we're going to start over on the eastern side of Washington in the city of Spokane. We have a high of 68 and in Pullman a high of 60. Now all across Washington it's going to be very sunny for today and tomorrow. Looking in central Washington, we have cities like Yakima and Tri-Cities with a high of 68 and 67. Again, very sunny, so we're going to be enjoying that for these next few days. And over on western Washington with the city of Olympia and the city of Seattle, we have mid to upper 50s, but again partly sunny. So we're going to enjoy that sun over across the entire state of Washington. Now, if we take a look at our 5-day forecast, I'll take a step off to the side so we can take a nice good look at this. We have today and Tuesday mostly sunny skies with highs in the low to mid 60s. And Wednesday we have a chance of rain with highs in the mid 50s to mid 60s with some breezy winds. Now on Thursday it's going to come back to nice and sunny skies, but on Friday we will come back to rain. On Friday and Saturday we have a high of 58 and on Saturday we have a high of 55. Now it will be a bit rainy, so I'm sorry, our fall weather will sadly turn to rain. Now I hope you guys enjoy your weather. Thanks guys, back to the desk.
The college basketball rankings have been released. Find out who's number 1.
And Cougar volleyball continues to roll. Find out more with Doyle D'Angelo after this.
Welcome back, everyone. We have some breaking news. According to Oregonian columnist John Canzano, WSU head coach Nick Rolovich has been terminated. Canzano cited a university source who said that includes any of the other unvaccinated WSU assistants. Rolovich had said he would not get the COVID-19 vaccine, and reports last weekend suggested he was trying to get a religious exemption. Murrow News 8 will follow up with details after the show on our social media accounts. Meantime, Cougar Volleyball won both of their matches this weekend, beating Oregon and Oregon State 3-0 on the road. With these wins, the Cougars now have won 4 straight sweeps and Pac-12 play. As Pia Timmer and Jola Rover are usually in the winning mix, the Cougs got a magnificent performance from Hannah Pukas against OSU, with 31 assists, 11 digs, and 3 blocks. They'll look to keep things rolling against Stanford when they return home on the 22nd. Now, as we get closer to the college basketball season, the Gonzaga Bulldogs have been given the #1 ranking again in the preseason AP Top 25 poll. This is a familiar place for the Bulldogs as they were #1 for the entirety of last year, only to fall to Baylor in the national championship. The top 5 teams to round it out in order are UCLA, Kansas, Villanova, and Texas. Thank you.
A Coug dad was honored this past Saturday at the game versus Stanford.
Find out more after this message.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day I found out I had something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Every year, WSU recognizes parents and family members that have made a big impact on their child's college experience with the Chosen Coug Award. This year's award was extra special. Junior Katie Lane's father, Patrick Lane, was honored this Saturday morning at this year's Chosen Coug. He sadly passed away from COVID-19 3 weeks after he moved Katie into her Pullman apartment this August. That day was the last day Katie shared a hug with her dad. So special for the university to do something like that, and something super cool for that family.
Yes, that is very nice. Thanks for watching. If you missed anything in this or any of our previous newscasts, you can always watch us on our YouTube channel.
More news can be found at nwpeb.org/mm8. You can follow us on our Facebook and Twitter. Have a good night.